The story begins by showing a tattooed man named Tatsu, who used to be a member of Yakuza. People used to really respect him because he was super strong and could easily beat up anyone who messed with him. They even called him the Eternal Dragon because he was so tough. But one day, Tatsu decided he didn't want to be in the Yakuza anymore. He wanted a normal life with his family. So he quit the gang and became a house husband. Now his days were filled with household chores. He made breakfast and lunch for his wife, Miku, who worked hard to support the family, and their daughter, Himawari. One morning, as Miku and Himawari were getting ready to eat breakfast, they saw a big cockroach in the dining room. Tatsu then tried to catch it. Just as the cockroach landed on his chest, Miku tried to hit it with a newspaper, but she accidentally hit Tatsu instead. After the cockroach incident, Tatsu gave his packed meals to Miku and Himawari before they headed out for the day. Later in the day, Tatsu met up with his friend Masaru. They had a job to collecting the monthly fees from people who lived in their neighborhood. Now Tatsu, with all his tattoos and tough look, tended to scare the neighbors a bit. But those monthly fees were important. They used the money for security stuff, festivals, and taking care of the gardens in the area. On that day, they saw a new building nearby and decided to go there to collect the fees from the owner. Unexpectedly, the owner turned out to be a Yakuza boss named Kondo. When Tatsu got there, Kondo didn't realize who Tatsu was at first, but one of Kondo's guys told him, and that got Kondo all nervous. Kondo remembered a time when he slipped on a wet floor that Tatsu was fixing and got yelled at by him. Now in the present, Kondo thought Tatsu was coming for revenge and told his guys to be on guard. Masaru, who was suspicious of Kondo's group, he immediately informed the local Yakuza boss named Iguichi, who used to be Tatsu's boss. They were having a serious chat when Iguichi's wife, Hibari, who was also in the Yakuza, showed up. She told Iguichi to go work at a convenience store to make some money to meet their living expenses. Since Iguichi was working as security and Hibari was busy as a cashier at the convenience store, they were forced to postpone dealing with the new Yakuza problem for the time being. On another day, Tatsu and his family were talking about giving away their pet hamster because they couldn't take care of it anymore. Tatsu wanted to give it to someone passing by on the street, but when a police officer named Shota saw Tatsu trying to hide the hamster in his jacket, he got suspicious. Tatsu's tough appearance made Shota think he might have a weapon, so he decided to search him. Tatsu didn't want to get caught by the police, so he ran into a building owned by Kondo, still holding his pet hamster. Everyone thought Tatsu was about to attack Kondo, and a fight broke out. But Tatsu was really good at martial arts, so he beat up Kondo's guys and escaped through a window when the police showed up. Out on the streets, Tatsu was still being chased by the police who wanted to talk to him. But there was a neighbor who knew Tatsu and quickly told Iguichi and others about what was happening. They wanted to help Tatsu get away from the police. As they were trying to help, Tatsu, who was riding a bicycle, accidentally bumped into Masaru, who was also trying to assist him. This got Tatsu stuck with the police blocking his way. Tatsu then tried to get his pet hamster out of his pocket, but this made the police officers think he was pulling out a gun. He had to be really careful as he explained that he was just looking to find someone to adopt his hamster. The police realized they got it wrong, and to make up for it, Shota said he would adopt the hamster, which made Tatsu happy. When Tatsu finally got back home, he was exhausted after his crazy day with the hamster and the police. Miku tried to cook dinner for the family, but it turned out she couldn't cook at all and couldn't even cut the vegetables right. But she insisted on making dinner, so Tatsu just quietly pretended to eat it, even though it tasted awful. While they were eating, Miku talked about going on a vacation when summer came, but Tatsu was worried. He thought their family might be in danger because he believed some of his old enemies from his Yakuza days still held grudges against him. So, he didn't like the idea of a family vacation. While they were still talking about their family vacation plans, they suddenly heard a child crying outside their house. Himawari, being curious, went to check and found a young boy who seemed to have been left there on purpose. Tatsu and his family were surprised by this discovery, so they decided to call the police to find the boy's parents. Tatsu also went to the store to buy diapers because they were going to take care of the boy until the police could find his parents. At the store, the employee saw Tatsu buying lots of diapers and thought Miku had a new baby. When this news got to Iguichi and the others, they all came over to Tatsu's house to congratulate him. Tatsu was shocked by their visit and explained the real situation, that they found the boy in front of their house. They all agreed to take care of the boy, and they named him Ryu until they found his parents. Since Ryu came to their house, Tatsu seemed really happy. He and Masaru even took Ryu to the park so he could play with kids his age. Unfortunately, Tatsu's tough looks scared some of the moms there, and they hurriedly took their kids home. But Tatsu still wanted to give Ryu a great childhood. Not long after that, Tatsu got a call from a friend who needed his help because some Yakuza guys had shown up at a kindergarten. After leaving Ryu with Masaru, Tatsu rushed over to a kindergarten where Kondo's gang was trying to pressure a teacher named Misa into signing some papers. But Misa stood her ground and shouted at the Yakuza group. Just then, Tatsu showed up, and that made Kondo's guys really scared, so they decided to leave. Tatsu talked to Misa about what happened, and she told him that Kondo's gang wanted to buy the kindergarten and turn it into a supermarket. When the school refused, they started using threats and intimidation. It got so bad that all the kindergarten kids had to leave and go to other schools. After hearing Misai's story, Tatsu's friend who was with him asked him to help protect the kindergarten, especially since he was known for his martial arts skills that could stop the violence. When Tatsu got home, he talked to Miku about it, and she agreed to let him help the kindergarten, but only if he promised not to use violence. Tatsu agreed, and soon after, he met up with his old friend, Torojiro, who used to be a Yakuza too, to help protect the kindergarten where Misai worked. While they were discussing things, their tough personalities made it seem like they were arguing. Torojiro's little sister, Koharu, saw this and tried to stop them by taking a swing at Tatsu, but he easily dodged it, leaving her standing in front of Torojiro's car. Being so close to Tatsu made Koharu secretly develop feelings for him. Back at home, Masaru was talking to Miku about how Ryu looked a lot like Tatsu, and he started to wonder if Ryu might be Tatsu's child from another woman. Miku didn't like that idea at all, and she slapped Masaru for even thinking that, but deep down, she was starting to have doubts herself. On another day, Tatsu and Masaru tried to help Misai promote the kindergarten to get more students and prevent it from closing. They even became models for a video, but Tatsu's tough face didn't make the video very appealing. Misa got frustrated because Tatsu couldn't show a warm and friendly side in the video. Later, when the video was posted on social media, Koharu saw it and rushed to the kindergarten to apply for a teaching job, hoping to get closer to Tatsu. Then, Tatsu enrolled Ryu as the first student at the kindergarten, and he quickly became friends with Koharu. This made Masaru even more suspicious that Koharu might be the woman Tatsu had been with, who got pregnant and had Ryu. He quietly contacted Miku to share his suspicions, which only made Miku start to doubt her husband even more. The next day, a Yakuza group led by Osiroyama showed up at the kindergarten. Tatsu looked ready for a fight, but Osiroyama got scared when he saw Tatsu and said they were just there to enroll his grandson in the kindergarten. He wanted Tatsu to look after his grandson, and Tatsu agreed, so the school had one more student. On the same day, Miku was curious about Koharu and came to the school to find out who this woman was that she suspected Tatsu had been hiding. Miku and Koharu ended up arguing and challenging each other to a competition at the school's sports festival. Tatsu had a hard time trying to mediate between the two of them. Before long, the sports festival started, and Iguichi's Yakuza group also joined in to make it more fun. Miku, Koharu, and others were all ready to compete for the title. After Hibari rang the gong, the competition began, and Miku's group did really well in the game where they had to grab the opponent's hairband. Miku managed to win against her opponent and then competed against Koharu. After a lot of effort, Miku managed to grab Koharu's hairband and became the winner. After the women's competition, the sports festival got even more exciting as everyone cheered for Ryu and Yama's grandson in a race. That night, Kondo, after watching the video of the school's sports festival online, got frustrated because he thought the school was still running smoothly. So he decided to go visit the school with his gang the next day. He was pretty sure Tatsu would recognize him, but when he got there, Tatsu didn't remember him at all. This made things tense, and Kondo tried to attack Tatsu, but Koharu stepped in and hit Kondo to stop him. Even though Kondo left after threatening to get back at Koharu, she wanted to chase after the Yakuza group, but Tatsu stopped her and calmed her down. As time went on, Misai's kindergarten grew with more and more students, thanks to Tatsu helping protect it. While he was watching over Ryu during a break at the field's edge, he felt grateful that being at the school gave him a sense of family warmth. Miku saw how happy her husband was and felt pleased with Ryu's presence, which made their family even more harmonious. But she still had suspicions about Koharu, so Miku invited Koharu for a private chat. During their conversation, Miku asked Koharu if she was Ryu's mother, and Koharu firmly explained that she had never been pregnant and didn't have a child. After hearing this, Miku felt relieved. However, she also found out that Koharu had feelings for Tatsu, and they argued again until a car crashed into the school gate, startling them. Everyone rushed to see what was happening when they spotted a black car with masked men trying to kidnap Himawari and Ryu. Masaru tried to stop them, but unfortunately, he got thrown and hit his head on the ground, getting hurt. Then, Misai drove a car and asked Tatsu and Torajiro to get in so they could chase the kidnappers. Koharu followed them on a motorcycle. When Misai got close to the kidnappers' car, Tatsu tried to jump into the car where Himawari and Ryu were, but he ended up hanging from the car's side door. Torajiro tried to jump onto the kidnapper's car too, but he accidentally hit a road barrier and was thrown onto Koharu's motorcycle. Finally, Tatsu managed to get into the kidnapper's car and took down all the kidnappers, saving his daughter and Ryu. They all rushed to the hospital where Masaru was being treated for his serious head injury, and he remained unconscious. Tatsu felt angry and suspected Kondo was behind the kidnapping. He couldn't keep his promise to avoid violence, so he said goodbye to Miku and went with Torajiro to Kondo's place. When they got there, Kondo's henchmen were ready to fight them. Tatsu challenged Kondo and his henchmen to meet him at a specific place, and Kondo accepted without fear. Before the big fight, Tatsu and his friends started getting everything ready. Even after Masaru woke up, he joined in to help Tatsu by picking out weapons and buying gunpowder. The whole town was buzzing with talk about the upcoming showdown between Tatsu and Kondo. Kondo's henchmen told him about the preparations, and he got really irritated. Then, Yama showed up, wanting to team up with Kondo to fight against Tatsu, because he also had a grudge against the former Yakuza member from the past. With support from other Yakuza groups, Kondo felt more confident about defeating Tatsu. On the day of the battle, Tatsu said goodbye to Miku, who hoped he would come back with a new spirit. At the same time, Kondo and his henchmen headed to the battleground, which was smoky and hard to see in. They heard fireworks and thought it was Tatsu's forces shooting. When the smoke cleared, Kondo aimed his gun at Tatsu and realized that they were actually putting on a cultural festival. An angry Kondo ordered Yama to attack, but Yama refused and revealed he was an undercover spy gathering evidence of the illegal stuff Kondo and his gang had been doing for a while. He planned to get them all arrested by the police, who were already at the festival. Feeling trapped and betrayed, Kondo got furious and threatened to take down Tatsu and the others. Tatsu couldn't take Kondo's arrogance anymore, and a fight broke out between Tatsu's group and Kondo's gang. When Tatsu's group was struggling against Kondo's henchmen, Koharu showed up on her unique motorcycle to help. Meanwhile, Kondo tried to attack Tatsu with a katana, but Tatsu's martial arts easily defeated the Yakuza leader. After Kondo's group was defeated, everyone at the festival felt relieved. Tatsu then asked Kondo about the kidnapping of his daughter and Ryu, but Kondo admitted he wasn't behind it. Soon after, the police showed up and arrested Tatsu and Miku on kidnapping charges for Ryu. They were both shocked because they had been looking after Ryu ever since he showed up in front of their house. Surprisingly, the real kidnappers of Ryu were two unknown men who had taken the boy to ransom him from his parents. When they tried to take Ryu, the police were patrolling nearby, so they left him in front of a house. They planned to kidnap him again from his kindergarten school. Fast forward to the present, after Tatsu and Miku were let go, they said goodbye to Ryu, who was going back to his parents. They all watched as Masaru took Ryu home. The story ended with Tatsu going back to his life as a family man, happy with his small family. The moral of the story: don't judge someone by their Yakuza past. You might discover surprising friendships, romance, and even a pet hamster in the most unexpected places.